deteriorate.
Yeah, divisiveness?
That's
okay.
right. So what's the status of Stafford
That's
Baptist?
a good question. Initially, it can be, if a church has never planted a church before, obviously they've been in existence for 30 years before they planted their first church. So you can imagine trying to lead your congregation to be able to do that when you've never done it before. And also giving them with the same vision capacity that you have, that we need to be a church that plants new churches. And here's the reason. I'll answer that question. Let me surmise it by this. There are 4,000 churches a year that close their doors. 1,500 new churches are started. And out of the 1,500, 9 out of 10 fail. It's because it's difficult work. And 4,000 churches closing their doors a year means there's no gospel presentation going on. Everything's become inwardly focused. It's the only reason you die out. It's because you stop thinking about the community. You start thinking about yourself, how we're going to do church, and eventually it just dies out. There's no members left out eventually. That happens 4,000 times a year. And so there's a real need there. And so basically realizing this, understanding this, Stafford Baptist said we need to do something about this trend. And so we're going to start being the church that plants churches, and then we're going to plant other churches who plant churches, and then they're going to plant other churches who plant churches, and then all of a sudden you see church plants all around. And so if you go into a new church like Pillar Church of Dumfries, their only capacity, their mental capacity is we are a church planting church. It's in their DNA, so to speak. Stafford Baptist, that transition has been a little harder because of the difficulties in trying to lead your church to planting a church. You know what I mean? And so, but Stafford's been, grace has been shown. They haven't been real divisive over planting in new churches. I think there have been some difficulties like with the Iceland project and things like that, when they've had to get people loaded up to do new things. So it can't, in any church, that's in any church. You start something new in any church and it rubs people the wrong way because we get comfortable. We're so comfortable with what we're doing. And so it takes us getting a little uncomfortable sometimes to really step out and do things in faith. And so that's kind of the way we work though.
So is your name, I guess my question too is for those who go out and plant churches, would the church that they're under, in this case Stafford Baptist, is that the place where their name is on the roll? Is that the church that they are under?
Well, they'll eventually, like Pillar Church of Dumfries now has their own membership, their own constitution. We'll eventually have that ourselves. We'll be autonomous churches, but your history will always point to the fact that we originated out of Stafford Baptist Church, and we planted a church up in Dumfries, and it's kind of our history. That's how we are. And so we'll plant new churches, and that'll be part of our DNA. So anybody that comes in, if they don't believe in our vision of planting new churches, then they won't stay.
Right.
Yeah.
So your tithes and offerings are just carried.
Oh, they go to the church, yeah.
To planted church.
To the planted church, yeah. So the people that come into our congregation, they're going to give to our group that we have there, our gathering, our church that we have in Locust Grove. And the people who go to Dumfries, same thing. What you get in when you go out, Stafford Baptist would give. They would set aside certain amounts of money in their budget to plant the new church in Dumfries. So they might give $500 or $600 a month to the new church plant, and that's how it would work. And so kind of like Spotswood gives me money every month, part of their initiative to help plant new churches, and Pillar Church gives money, things like that to cover salary, but also to help the church get started. It takes about $50,000 to $80,000 to get a new church plant going, so that's a lot of money. You can imagine, imagine turning the school into a church every Sunday. It takes a lot of work and getting signage out, things like that.
This just kind of briefly and kind of as a wrap up, because I know some folks have to get out and get their kids. What are some ways that we as a class can assist you in Locust Grove?
Okay, I gave you a how you can get involved sheet. Basically, the main thing that we ask for you guys is prayer. Fervent prayer. Just anytime you can think about it. Obviously, it's a lot of work we have going on, but we're trying to get a church created there. And so in that area, we want to reach those people in that area, and we want to continue the mission work that we're doing. And the only way we can do that is by getting that church, Locust Grove, that church plant going. And so we ask for you to pray for us and as a church altogether. The second thing you can do is your church leaders have graciously allowed us to ask you to come and commit to us for 1 year if you feel led to do that. Obviously, we are in need of people to meet on Sunday mornings. That means you don't have to take away from what you do here at Spotswood. You don't have to take away from your small group time during the week. But what we're asking for you to do is commit to 1 year to come and meet with us on Sunday mornings. And you can imagine walking into a church. Right now we have about 15 to 20 adults and 15 to 20 kids. We're running about 40 if you include adults and kids, things like that. And when you're church planning, you include everybody, even the baby that's in Jennifer's womb. So that's one of ours. So we'll build the church up one way or another. How about that? But the thing is that we just, so Sunday mornings, if you come in, there's only 10 or 15 people in a setting. It kind of makes it a little uncomfortable for new people who are coming in and things like that. So the more you have on Sunday morning, it obviously gives it the feel of God's really doing the work there, which He is. We know He is, but it's opportunity to help us to be able to fill up our church rows on Sunday. So you have the opportunity to come and commit. And so if you do feel led or feel like God's maybe calling you to do something a little different, such as church planting, I ask that you would just email me and let me know let me know if you're interested in that. That email it's bounced back this last week. Something with Google fell through, and so we're going to start the process over and set up our new accounts and all that good stuff on Monday. So if you get a bounce back on that, just continue to send that email and I'll get it here in a couple of days. Okay. So I just wanted to basically our thing is prayer. Give you the opportunity to commit, but you can also have the opportunity to give if you wanted to give as a Sunday school class or as individuals or whatever. You can give monthly or you can give one-time gift. That's not on there, but Sunday school classes ask all the time what they can do, and so I want to be able to give you the opportunity. So if you would, you can make out your check to Spotswood Baptist and just write in the memo line, Pillar Church. Look, just scroll over, just Pillar Church will be fine. They'll make sure we get it. What time do you guys get done? No, it's 12:30 now.
12:30.
12:30. All right.